What is up? It's your boy Johnny SHREVE. I have BB Pro, Mr. Telling it is. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We gotta clear the air. I already saw this other clip. He's talking about Menno Henselmans, and he put a video out a little bit ago. This is how many years steroids cut off your life. So here's some clips here of what he's saying.
Steroids, or to be precise, anabolic androgenic steroids, are bad for you. Nobody disputes that. However, how bad are they exactly? Are we talking one steroid cycle is going to cut your life short by 10 years?
This video is basically talking about how many years will you actually lose if you take steroids. Now, there's a problem with this video. My job is to do my best to make sure I provide as much valuable information for you guys to be able to train better, eat more optimal, just live a healthier life based on my knowledge, my experience, the mistakes I've made to help you guys not make the same mistakes, hopefully live a longer life and avoid some of the things that I've done. Doc Mike, Greg Doucette, Mike Van Wyck, Jeff Nippert, Will Tennyson, you come and follow us because you see us, how we look, you like however we resonate to you, and you believe that we know something that you can use to help better your life or get you closer to your goals. Here's a saying I heard. All someone has to do is know 5% more than you and you think they know everything. But in this case, Henselmans knows way more than 5% of a lot of things, and especially in this space, him being a researcher, he knows way more, way more. So when someone like him says,
it would seem that yes, there is an increased risk while you're using the steroids, but afterwards in life, the presumably healthier lifestyle of these athletes was enough to offset these negative effects in the long term and even make them still live longer than the general population. However, it's worth keeping in mind that even though steroid usage was very popular at this time, the dosages used were not remotely comparable to today's bodybuilders and elite athletes.
In the article, the anti-doping policy jurisdiction. The common jurisdiction of anti-doping policies in the belief that performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, harm athletes' health. Basically saying, in general, PEDs do more harm than good in athletes that don't even need it. That makes sense, right? Basically, I'm not gonna give you something if you don't need it. If I go to the doctor, hey doc man, I need to get on TRT, then they'll be like, all right, cool, let me see your blood work. Get your blood work done. Your blood work's fine. You don't need TRT. Sorry about that, see you later. So if you don't need steroids, those people who do not need steroids, who are elite athletes, it does more harm than good. Training for elite performance itself is not a healthy activity and has inherent health risks. Training elite athletes, when I talk about elite athletes, and here's the thing, the verbiage used, language, means that them saying elite athletes is not the same as saying a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder is not an elite athlete. Understand that. When they're doing studies, this entire study is done on elite performing athletes. So that would be me back in the day playing football, baseball, basketball, Olympic athletes, your sprinters, gymnastics, all those things, all those actual sports do have some kind of health risk to them. Every single one do. Boxers, MMA fighters. Those are what they're talking about when it comes to elite athletes. That athlete is 100% gonna outlive Joe Schmo sitting on the couch doesn't train whatsoever. So if I do an article on the elite athlete who's used steroids and used steroids or in the past has used will actually live longer than Couch Potato. What? Of course, because Couch Potato isn't healthy. The guy that's doing steroids, and even in this, is that Henselmans says the healthy lifestyle of the elite athlete is offsetting the damage of steroid use. We're talking about elite performing athletes. Health risks. Sudden cardiac death is a leading cause of death among young athletes, but it's not linked to banned PED use. Some elite athletes have trained so hard that they got rhabdo and died of cardiac arrest. Despite negative health impacts of training or training for elite performance, these effects are generally reversible. You think that LeBron James is eating Sam Sulek's diet? They're eating healthy, so it means that when they stop doing steroids or something happens to them in that time, in the process of training for their elite training, means that their bodies will recover because they are 99th percentile genetically gifted freaks. Let's go in further into this. All right, morbidity and mortality in elite athletes. The use of banned substances among elite athletes is high, yet morbidity and mortality rates are not higher than your general population. Let me read that again. Morbidity and mortality in elite athletes Elite. I'm saying this again so you guys understand. Elite. The use of banned substances among elite athletes is high, yet their morbidity and mortality rates are not higher than the general population, meaning they're still healthier than the general population. Let's break down what elite athlete is and general population. An elite athlete individual who competes at the highest level of their chosen sport. These athletes typically exhibit exceptional physical abilities, dedication, and skills, and often participate in national and international competitions. Here are some key characteristics of elite athletes. High level of skill. Obviously, that's right. Physical fitness. They're just at the peak of their fitness. I'm talking everything in their body, what their body does, eating, nutrition is elite. Dedication and commitment. There is no off switch. This is their job. They're getting paid money to do this for a living. You're watching them on Sunday and following them all year long to see if they win. That's an elite athlete. So when they talk about elite athlete, they're not talking about bodybuilders. And who is watching this? Who's watching me? Dr. Mike, Greg Doucette, Eric Janicki, Jeff Nippard, Will Tennyson. Who? Elite athletes or recreational PED users and natural athletes? Let's go back to this. Misuse of PEDs. PED misuse often involves substance from the black market without medical guidance, contributes to health issues in recreational athletes, but not typically elite athletes. I could keep going over and over and over again. The point is, this is extremely dangerous to put out this information and not clearly say bodybuilders are not elite athletes. And understanding the audience, the people that are watching are most likely recreational PED users / abusers. I was one of them. I am not an elite athlete. This article is not referring to me. This article is not referring to Dr. Mike. This article isn't referring to majority of everybody watching this video. So the problem with this video is the fact that it's not clear. So when he says those who are using steroids, elite athletes who have used performance enhancing drugs, either are using them or in the past will live longer than your general population, what he's meaning is Serena Williams can take steroids and live longer than Steve and Sabrina the couch potatoes who don't freaking move, don't go to the gym, because guess what the general population is? Characteristics of general population health. The general population includes people of all ages, genders, ethnicities, socioeconomical status, and health conditions. We have to understand that people that are watching don't necessarily understand a lot of things that are talked about within the science sphere. A lot of things just go over the head, so you're like, man, that guy's talking a lot of stuff that, whew, elite athlete, you're probably talking about those bodybuilders, because only elite athletes I know are the bodybuilders say they're pro bodybuilders, that must be an elite athlete. When it's not, we're not elite athletes, sorry. I'm a professional dieter that's a professional at repping things out, keeping my head on straight while I can get myself down sub-single digit body fat and flex on stage. That's not an elite athlete, unfortunately. So when he puts out something that says elite athletes who have done steroids or in the past have done steroids will live longer than the general population, they're not talking about us. So, wrap this up. You will die earlier if you do steroids. I'm telling you right now, I shaved years off of my life doing steroids. Unless you're given steroids from a doctor to help your body in some way because it's either low in testosterone, you hurt yourself or something, you have a muscle wasting something, or you have to come back from surgery or whatever, cancer, whatever it is, if there's a doctor not giving it to you and you're doing it illegally or you're doing it cheating wise or whatever it is, you are cutting off years off your life. That video is careless, is disingenuous, and it's using a platform for the wrong reasons to send the wrong message. Until next time, iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing.